On the 7th anniversary of my marriage, I received a pregnancy test report. Just as I was about to share the joy with my husband, I was involved in a car accident. The doctor called my husband more than 20 times, but he never answered a single call. In the end, I had no choice but to endure the pain and sign the surgical consent form myself. When I woke up again, the doctor looked at me with undisguised displeasure. "Miss McAllister, our system shows that you are single. Why did you lie about having a husband? Do you know that because the rescue was delayed, the child in your womb has already—" I sat frozen on the hospital bed, unable to decide which piece of news hurt more. Trembling, I placed a hand over my abdomen. The child who had just reached 10 weeks was gone, silently, completely. My eyes burned red as I stared at the doctor in disbelief. "I've been married for 7 years. How could I possibly be single? Your hospital system must be wrong." My protest came to an abrupt halt when the hospital produced its official records. Staring at the stamped seal on the documents, my vision shook. I walked out of the hospital stiffly, holding both a miscarriage report and a certificate proving I was single. The very next second, I saw my husband stepping out of the Civil Affairs Bureau, arm in arm with my younger sister, who had been missing for 7 years. He had his arm around her shoulders, their intimacy unmistakable. The red marriage certificate in their hands stabbed painfully into my eyes. At that moment, my heart sank to the very bottom. The wind carried their conversation to my ears. "Emmett, if Camille finds out that we registered our marriage, she'll probably blame us after all. She has been your wife for the past 7 years. Emmett replied without hesitation, "I've never considered her my wife. In my eyes, you are the only one who truly matters. What we're holding is the real marriage certificate. If you want, I can get rid of her." As the truth laid itself bare, a deafening roar filled my ears. 7 years of devotion wasted. It was time for me to leave. I stood frozen in place as the documents slipped from my hands and scattered across the ground. At some point, Leanne and I met eyes. There was unmistakable pride in hers, as if she had noticed my presence long ago. "Emmett, I really didn't expect you to say something like that," she said softly. "I thought you no longer cared about me. 7 years ago at the wedding, I wasn't ready, so I chose to run away. I never imagined that you would still love me so deeply." Overwhelmed with emotion, Leanne began to cry. Emmett gently wiped the tears from her cheeks. His eyes filled with a tenderness I had never once seen directed at me. "My wife was always meant to be you," he said solemnly. "Even when you left me 7 years ago, I never blamed you. Not for a single moment." After saying that, Emmett lowered his head and kissed Leanne deeply. My breathing turned ragged as a sour, suffocating pain spread through my entire body. But Leanne was still not satisfied. She narrowed her eyes and glanced in my direction before lowering her voice. "Emmett, you don't have to say this just because of my illness. After all, you and my sister have been together for 7 years. You must love her. I'll be fine on my own." Emmett immediately grabbed her hand, his expression earnest.